Hi, I'm Tammy at Simply Set Free, and today I've got some great tips for you on how to live in a small space. Now, our family has lived in a 1,500 square foot home for 20 years, and we love it. But there sometimes can be challenges when living in small spaces. So here are some great solutions that you can implement in your home in a very easy and cost-effective way. Think outside the box when it comes to the space in your home. For instance, just because you have a formal dining room doesn't mean it has to be used for a dining room table and chairs. Maybe you have a lot of young kids right now. Maybe you can transform it into a playroom. Recently in our home, we transformed a hall closet into a desk area for me. So as you can see, just because an area was designed for one purpose doesn't mean you have to use it for that purpose. So think outside the box. Another great strategy for small spaces is to think vertically. Because you don't have a lot of horizontal space, so to speak, you want to maximize that vertical space. So here are some suggestions. When choosing furniture, remember to go tall instead of wide. Because remember, you don't want to take up a lot of floor space. You want to use that vertical space well. For instance, choose a taller bookshelf that takes up less floor space than a wider one that's maybe shorter. Also, maybe choose a chest of drawers that's slimmer and takes up less floor space than a wide dresser would. Check out the tops of your closets and make sure that you're utilizing your vertical space really well. If there's a lot of space in between the top shelf and the ceiling, go ahead and add an additional shelf there. That will give you some great additional storage space. Check under the sinks in the kitchen and the bathroom. There might be space to add another shelf for more storage space. Removing the closet doors can give you additional space and make the room feel bigger. We did this in our kids' rooms. We used tension rods to hang curtains instead, and this really adds a nice look. Speaking of the kids, one of the things that we did for them when they were younger to give them more floor space to play in was to replace their twin beds with loft beds. This gave them extra floor space underneath to add a chair or a bookshelf or even their desk. If you need more storage space in the bathroom, there's some great options here. Remember vertical. Add shelves on the wall that you could use for storage, or consider the space in between the toilet and the sink to add shelves or drawers there for the storage space that you need. I've got some great ideas for the kitchen. If you need more pantry space, consider using either a closet or an entertainment center to add an extra pantry. Now in our home, I recently converted an entertainment center into a pantry. You can see how I did this in my pantry video. Now check out all the vertical space in your kitchen. Look at the walls, look at the cabinets, and think outside the box. Here I've hung 2 nails and added colanders to the side of the cabinet next to my sink. Also, I've added a spice rack on the wall in the area where I do most of my cooking. This has been great because I can stand in one area and not have to move to the other side of the kitchen to get a spice. If you have a microwave that's on your counter, consider mounting one that's designed to go above your stove. This can really save on space big time. Check out the inside of your cabinets and your pantry. Is there space in between the shelves that you can be utilizing more efficiently? If so, add an extra shelf or a shelf divider. You can find these at Walmart or online on Amazon. Over here we've hung a rack to hang coffee mugs. Now this is not only great to save space, but it makes it so convenient. When we get coffee in the morning, we just grab a mug. We don't even have to open a cabinet. Now, if you don't have a stainless steel refrigerator, consider using your fridge for vertical storage space. There's a lot of great options using magnets to save space. I've got 4 different space savers on my fridge. Here I have magnetic hooks to hold pot holders. At IKEA, you can find these great magnetic tins to store things like rubber bands and paper clips. I also keep a magnetic list pad on my fridge. This is a lifesaver. I don't know what I would do without it because every time I run out of something or think of something that I need to buy, I write it down. Now, instead of running all over to try and find a pen, I also have a magnetic pen holder that I keep pens handy right there so I don't have to walk to the other side of the kitchen to get a pen to write something down on the list. Now, when I first started using list pads, they used to fall off the fridge. The magnet that came with the list pad didn't hold it to the fridge. What I ended up doing here, as you can see, I added a whole bunch of magnets to the back. Now it never falls off. And my last tip for living in a small space is to reduce your possessions. You'll hear me say this again and again. This is by far the quickest way and the best way to really live well in a small space. Clutter stresses you out. It makes you tired. It makes more work for you, more housework, so many things. And by reducing your possessions, especially when you live in a small space, it can go a long ways to help you live a more fulfilled and enjoyable life. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you next time on Simply Set Free.